ANC suspended Secretary General Ace Magashule was in high spirits when he arrived at the High Court in Bloemfontein ahead of the pre-trial hearing on the multi-million rand asbestos case that we now have learned has been postponed.
The matter is then postponed to the 19th of October 2021. All the accused are on bail except for the juristic persons, which is accused numbers 4, 5, 6, 8 and 10. All the accused are then warned to be in this court again at 9 o'clock in the morning. Thank you. The court adjourns.
Daniel, rising court.
All right, we're going now to our colleague Samkele Maseko, who's covering the story. Samkele, thank you so much for talking to us. Now, what are the implications of postponing a pre-trial hearing?
Essentially, Desiree, what is happening now is that there will be further consultations on this particular matter as it has been postponed to the 19th of October. You heard that there was an issue of the main star witness, as some have dubbed it within this case, on whether she will be testifying on behalf of the state or on behalf of the accused. Ace Magashule's legal team arguing that must be determined prior to the start of the trial, but the lawyer presiding over the pre-trial saying that can only be determined upon the time of when she or he needs to testify before this particular trial, and it will then be determined then whether she is testifying on behalf of the state or on behalf of the accused. You can see some of those who are gathered here to support the suspended Secretary General Ace Magashule. They are chanting songs that are pro the Secretary General of the ANC, who is currently suspended, who is facing charges of fraud, corruption, money laundering and racketeering. These are the visuals that they are essentially chanting pro songs that are pro Magashule. Essentially, this case is of the Asbestos case of 260 million rands that was embezzled allegedly from the state. They are what
with police state down, down with military regime down, down with police state down, open the country, open, forward to conferences, forward.
They are essentially now calling for the National General Council of the African National Congress to be heard. You saw the state's prosecutor was arguing that this case is not essentially made out of the testimony coming out of the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. They are also saying that they may use some of the public knowledge and evidence that has been presented in an open inquiry at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, particularly around Edwin Sodi, the businessman who owns Blackhead Consulting, who is also one of the co-accused out of the 16 in this fraud, corruption and money laundering case. You can see just behind me there is a heavy police presence and a heavy deployment by the South African National Defence Force, who have come out here in their numbers to ensure that COVID-19 protocols are adhered to on a political aspect and also by those who are co-accused in this matter. Speaking to the Secretary General of the ANC who suspended Mr. Magashule, he said that the events of violence that took place in the country in July are not an insurrection, opposing and contradicting the President of the Republic and the President of the governing party, Cyril Ramaphosa, saying that he's very happy also that his case of fraud and corruption is starting and that this pre-trial will end soon and the actual trial will begin so that he can clear his name and that his political activity can continue. Just to go back to those whom are currently here supporting Ace Magashule and his co-accused, and in particular the MEC of Human Settlements, former MEC of Human Settlements, Oli Molamlela, and Edwin Sodi and Mr. Magashule. You can hear them chanting songs that are pro Magashule.
2022 sizohlangana, 2022 sizohlangana, 2022 sizohlangana, masibeke ukhashu sizohlangana, masibeke
Essentially, that song is starting the political imaginations within the governing party of the 2022 conference of the ANC, which is yet to be determined which province it will take place. But that conference is going to take place next year in 2022. They are saying, Sizohlangana go 2022, Sipete Ukhashi, essentially loosely translated, will meet in 2022 when we are holding Ace Magashule up high, which is in essence saying that they will be supporting Ace Magashule for whatever position he will be contesting in that conference, whether he's contesting to be ANC president or to come back as the Secretary General of the ANC, Desiree.
Samkele, an observation I'm making, and I don't know if your conversation with Carl Niehaus touched on this in the morning, that the supporters you just showed us, none of them are wearing ANC regalia.
No, Desiree, some of them are wearing ANC regalia. I can
we
see a
haven't
few
seen any.
who are wearing ANC dukes. I'm sure that DMN-G22, which is also currently transmitting, can show you. We'll just try and go back and show you those visuals of those whom are wearing ANC.
All right, we
Samkele
Samkele Maseko there for you, coming to us from outside the Bloemfontein High Court.